Thank you so much for listening. My name is Tamara Davis-Jack, CEO of Positivity Has a Purpose, and I'm here with a mental health moment. I would first like to give honor to and send our sincerest prayers out to the families of Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, Philando Castile, Freddie Gray, Sandra Bland, Tyree Crawford, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Alteria Woods, Antoine Rose, Stefan Clark, Botham John, Amadou Diallo, Elijah McLean, Breonna Taylor, and now Tyree Nichols, and so many more. This video may seem unavoidable online and on social media, but what you might need to do is to really filter for your own mental health. These videos never seem to help us understand why the things that have happened occurred. Some people may even think that by watching the video, they will see things that will explain the behaviors. But research has shown that frequent exposure to violent news events can cause negative stress reactions. Even witnessing vicarious violence can raise a person's sense of anxiety and fear, and in some ways lead to post-traumatic stress disorder. It is important to bear witness and to acknowledge what has happened, but that doesn't mean that you're under any obligation to watch the video itself. Please know that when you experience stress and anxiety from viewing of this type of material, it's called vicarious trauma. According to the U.S. Veterans Administration, research generally finds an association between watching media coverage of traumatic events and stress symptoms. Furthermore, too much trauma-related television may have a negative impact, especially on children. We are under no obligation to bombard ourselves with violent imagery while not being able to stop or help them. Social media and other outlets are also being affected by vicarious trauma. Acts of violence erode our sense of security and safety, and random acts of violence can create intense feelings of anger, frustration, fear, and helplessness. And when we have no outlet for that, it becomes rage. Manage the physical symptoms first. Because remember, in the moment, a violent image can trigger both your physical and psychological symptoms. Attending to the psychological portion of it can do a lot for you. Immediately after viewing an image that triggers a serious fear response, your breathing will become shallow and your muscles will tighten. Two things that will tell your body what to do next. Because your brain will flood your system with adrenaline and other hormones to prepare you for survival. Because of what your brain will do then, it gives you a surge of energy and strength to get ready for what you need to do, meaning your fight or flight response. Now remember, when watching these videos, we're not necessarily in a fight or flight response, but your brain and your body doesn't recognize that. So it's very important that if you are watching the videos, that you remember immediately after to take deep and calming breaths to untense those muscles in your body so your brain can get the message that everything is okay. Because then your brain will start to release the good chemicals that will help us relax and let our body know that we are not in any imminent danger. See, deep breathing is the best way to help you get back under control when you feel your body really tensing up. It's okay also to take a step back, both literally and figuratively. If at all possible, shut off your computer or close your phone app the second you see a hint of violence that is too much for you. Do not feel prone to peer pressure to watch a video because people keep saying that you're not empathetic if you don't. Even if it's too late and you've already watched the video, remove yourself from the trigger. Get away from the computer, and if you do nothing else, just go for a walk. And it's okay to put that anger and fear somewhere and to get into action. After you deal with your in-the-moment reaction and you're able to calm yourself down just a little bit, remember, it's okay to do something that's an immediate counter, that gives your body immediate counter programming in the form of listening to some music that you love, watching your favorite TV show, or even having a quick phone call with a friend. Go to an open field if you need to and scream, or go punch a punching bag, or jump on the treadmill at your local gym. Anything that will help overwrite the immediate horror and revulsion that was caused by what you just watched. Men and women alike, if you feel like crying, cry. That is the natural human response to grief. Do not feel like you should hold that in or not show it. That is why I always say that it's pivotal that we not watch violent imagery in a group environment. You may be less prone to let out your true feelings and bury them down. When that happens, you'll find these emotions will come back to you at the weirdest time, even when something unrelated has occurred. And it's okay to set up blockers for future use. Avoid violent videos by turning off auto-playing on social media sites, and definitely heed those sensitive content warnings by declining the click. You can also, and I say this with love, use nature's content blocker and force yourself into a full-on social media break, or at least a break from those platforms where you're most likely to run into upsetting content. It can be smart to ask loved ones ahead of time to refrain from sharing those images with you, even if from a place of love and concern. While most people, especially those closest to you, mean very well when they just check in or they're trying to send it to you for awareness, make them aware that their actions could inadvertently point you to a place in your mental that you don't really want to go to. Finally, check in with yourself about why you might be tempted on occasion to look at these things. See, I understand, because we have witnessed things for quite a while. We spent so much time in the past years glued to our screens watching horrific things unfold on the internet that sometimes feel like witnessing them was the only way we could help the people actually experiencing them. If we go back as far as the Gulf War and 9/11, we have been privy to stressful content. Whether it was watching COVID numbers spike higher and higher, live streaming police crackdowns, watching people get beaten in the streets and on public transit by their neighbors, we've all been privy to it. Release yourself from the obligation of looking at things that harm you. Avoid violent imagery. It isn't the same thing as you plugging your ears and shutting the world out. It just means you're preserving your mental health in order to fight another day when you feel steadier and stronger. Remember, you have the power to make the best choice for yourself. Your mental health matters. And if you feel the need to get activated, look into your local activism in your city, state, or in your local government. Get active. Remember, positivity absolutely has a purpose. You have a right to protect your heart, protect your peace. And if you can take nothing else from this video, remember, every person deserves to grow old. Your mental health matters. Protect it. My name is Tamara Davis-Jack, President and CEO of Positivity Has a Purpose. Thank you so much for listening. Protect your peace.